Did you know that there are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our world? From the food we eat to the air we breathe, and even in the skincare we use. They could be messing with your hormones and making you feel like you're stuck in a mystery of your own body. And just like the plot twist in your favorite book or the most insane true crime case you've ever heard of, hormonal changes like perimenopause or menopause can strike at the most unexpected times. Suddenly you're dealing with mood swings, sleepless nights, and all those other symptoms that make you feel like you're losing your mind. Here's the good news though. This is one mystery that you can solve with Happy Mammoth. No need for a long investigation. Just take the free 2-minute quiz from Happy Mammoth. Answer a few questions about what you're experiencing and where you're at in life, and you'll uncover the real culprit behind your hormonal symptoms. And the best part, after taking the quiz, you'll get a personalized recommendation to help you balance your hormones so you can feel like yourself again. Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens. And now here's the beauty about adaptogens. They help the body adapt to any stressors, like chaotic hormonal changes that happen naturally throughout a woman's life. That's where Hormone Harmony is perfect for women of all ages who are struggling with life-disrupting symptoms such as menopause, PMS, racing thoughts and low moods, poor sleep, occasional bloating, and no desire to be in bed next to someone, if you know what I mean. Happy Mammoth is dedicated to making women's lives easier, especially moms. And that means using only science-backed ingredients that have been proven to work for women. They make no compromise when it comes to quality, and it shows. We worked out a special deal with Happy Mammoth, so for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code DIARIES at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DIARIES for 15% off today.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
The Abercrombie Kids Summer Sale is in full swing, with up to 50% off select styles for the season. Summer plans, vacation, and camp days are all covered, with new dresses, shorts, tees, and swim. Abercrombie Kids has the summer staples they need and the looks that they want to wear. Shop in-store, online, or in the app. Offer applies to select styles as indicated. Discount applied at checkout online.
Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted, where we talk about everything that we want to talk about, whether it's stuff we've seen because we're chronically online or stuff that we've been meaning to tell each other, but we've held off so we can talk about it with you guys. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Paige. I love these episodes so much. I feel like I say that like every other episode, but I really do. Besides that, Natalie, I'm pretty sure I may have joined a cult.
Wait, what?
On accident? I don't know.
Go on.
My Pilates studio.
Okay.
I love it so much. I'm in deep. I will be continuing to do Pilates. And I feel like some of our listeners have been following along a little bit, that like I gained some of that pandemic weight. I've been trying to kind of get it off with, being mindful with what I eat, but also enjoying what I want. Like I am going to have a Diet Coke. I am going to have a cheeky Chick-fil-A here and there when I want to glutenate myself and fire up my psoriasis. But other than that, like I just really knew I needed to step up my game. So I joined the studio. I know I was kind of telling you about it, but I just love it. Like, I can't wait for my next class. Like, I know you shouldn't really go like every single day. You need like a rest day or two a week, but I could go every day.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'm so excited. So thanks for the support, people. I'll be keeping you up to date because we all know how my ADHD is. Maybe I'll be sick of it one day. We don't know.
For the listeners, is it Reformer? Is it Mat Pilates? What is it? Give us a little bit more info.
Fully operational studio. The Reformer is my favorite. I did a more like mat plus Reformer plus rollout stretchy kind of class on Sunday. And I liked it, but not as much as just like the full Reformer. I kind of liken it to how like when you're doing yoga and you go from this pose to that pose to this pose. That's kind of how the Reformer class is, where you are just moving from this exercise to this one to this one. It kind of flows, which I really like because I always liked like circuit training. I learned how to do weight training with that. So It's kind of my style, kind of my thing. I'm just going to be a Pilates girl. So
hey, there could be
out.
There are worse things to be, right? Pilates girls are fun. They always have cute outfits. They always look great. So I'm excited for your Pilates journey.
Thank you. Did you ever see that TikTok? It was like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, but there was like drama on TikTok because this really pretty girl gets on there and she's like, I'm sorry, but you are overweight. Like you cannot do Pilates and you like definitely can't be a Pilates instructor. And she thought she like ate with that. Like she thought she was going to get support in the comments. Like, yeah, it's so annoying. No, everybody was like, you are wild. This is gross.
Yeah,
like,
exercise is for everybody. What is she talking about?
And where does somebody who wants to lose weight start? Like that's what keeps people from those studios. Honestly, it's something that kept me for a while because I am or was at my heaviest. That was uncomfortable. Like, wait a minute, do I really want to go with this extra 25 pounds on? Like, I'm embarrassed. And like, I honestly, after that video, it made me think like, yes, this is what has stopped me. But my brain did the opposite. I was like, that's it. I'm going to do it. Because other people came on and were like, please don't let this stop you. Pilates is for everybody. Like the stitches and responses were really, really encouraging. So then I called them and I told them what the deal was. I was like, look, I'm nervous. I've never worked with a reformer before. I've never, like I've been a little bit nervous because of that. I'm really performance oriented. So I don't know if I'm good at something. I don't know if I want to get into it. And they're like, no, let me book you an intro class. Like you're going to be fine. The first time I spoke with them at all was like a year ago, though. And then they kind of just like every once in a while.
I remember hearing about this. Yeah. So it's the same place.
And that kind of turned me off, though, because I was like, hey, like respect the space. Like I got into other things, had other things going on in life. I've been exercising in different ways. Like I don't really want to spend the money. But then once I saw like how warm and welcoming everybody, again, cult status, I swear. And I joked about that with the front desk girl. I was like, I told my sister I basically joined a cult and she looked at me like, and I was like, no, I mean that in a good way. And oh my gosh. And then I don't want to be like, oh, sorry, I have a true crime podcast is how I talk. But anyways, shouldn't be joking too much about being in a cult because it's a serious thing, but I mean it more in a good light. So really enjoying that. And what else has been going on this week? Pretty sure I almost lost my wedding pictures. So that was really stressful too.
You started telling me about that and I said, let's just wait. Tell me about it in a couple of minutes. So fill me in a little bit on that.
I honestly want to know, like, if this has happened to you or you know how to fix this, please let me know in the comments. Send us a DM. Make us a TikTok video and tag us. I need help. So my gamer husband is building this computer. We went to this like really cool but like nerdy computer place that there's not a lot of. And it was fascinating. And it was really cool to see him build everything. But he ran into an issue. He needs to like reload a new version of Windows, whatever it is. And so he needed a pretty large USB. Well, the largest one that we had was the one that had our wedding photos on it. It's crystal and black, much like our photo book that I've talked about before. And so it kind of matches that, which I love. And I think it's engraved with something too. I'd have to look at it.
Probably your date or your names or whatever.
I don't look at it a lot because I also have the pictures on my computer, thankfully, because I was nervous when he was going to mess around with it. But I didn't because I had that flash drive, which my brother who studied electrical engineering already says, like, don't ever totally trust flash memory to be the only version you have of something. But anyways.
That's just like with anything, though. Like, even if you have an external hard drive, maybe have two with the same things on it.
Yes. If it's really that important.
If it's precious,
absolutely.
Right.
And this is a lesson learned with that. So I'm glad we had already thought to, being millennials that have a hard time trusting as technology grows and changes. We did that. He copied all the pictures and then he was going to take the flash drive and load stuff. But the problem, he had an issue because I have a Mac. So then we had to use this Windows computer. But when he was giving me back the Mac, he was going to then put the pictures back on the flash drive that we have in the meantime. Well, he figured it out and he was just going to get a new flash drive that was even bigger. And he was going to run to Target and do that, which he did. He couldn't put the pictures back on.
Why didn't he just do that in the beginning, though? Why didn't he just get a new flash drive at the beginning?
Wouldn't that be great?
I feel like
I told him to do that.
I would have been like, love this idea for you. Just go buy one because we're not going to mess with this right now. But I mean, you can't go back. So no.
We can't go back. And this is the lesson learned. If you ever, like anyone getting married or doing photo shoots for anything that you're going to get pictures on with a flash drive or videos, anything you're going to get on a flash drive that is owned by a company, even a personal company. This is from our wedding photographer. You can format a flash drive where you can't make any changes other than like taking off. Like you can't load anything onto it. It shows that we have custom permissions. Mm. So before you even mess with it, you can see that when you look at the properties of it. So yeah, we can't put anything back onto it. Not the little video she made, not any of the pictures. It's all just sitting there, 1,000 pictures just
on your desktop,
on my computer in a file. Luckily, I have like a file and I'll probably keep them on there. But I mean, I don't know what to do. Probably
put them on an external hard drive.
Yeah, something like that. We might be able to figure out how to reformat it. My husband thinks that that's what to do, but it's like the trust in that is at this point, he is in trouble because I liked having that flash drive too. It's just nostalgic. It's what was given to us and it's so small. It's just a little pretty little crystal black flash drive. Like it's not, you know what I mean? But anyway, so if you know how to format flash drives, if that would fix it, please let us know. And I just talked about myself for probably way too long, but those are things that I would have been catching you up on whether we were recording or not. In fact, I was already starting to, right? So that's what's going on with me. Anything exciting going on with you before we get into some of these other exciting things we want to talk about?
Just not really. I'm sure I'll have things to talk about in a couple weeks, but nothing that I can talk about right now, but maybe in a couple weeks, I'll be able to talk about it. I have some things in the works and, we'll probably share with everyone soon. So
very exciting. Then I like that. We have something to look forward to.
Definitely.
Who maybe doesn't have to look forward to something any longer is Cole Young. Have you heard of him on the Mariners?
No, tell me.
I mean, what a really genuine, seemingly young dude that made his way up from the minor league ball team. Who am I? The minor league team for the Mariners. He got called up a couple of weeks ago on a Friday. And then he hit the winning run in his first game. He hit a walk-off RBI.
Wow.
And he became actually the first player in Mariners franchise history to have a walk-off plate appearance in his first career game. It's been done in the MLB before, but it's so rare. And yeah, it had never happened for the Mariners. And he just had the best 3 days of his flippin' life from Friday to the game. It was just really sweet to see all the TikToks a few weeks ago. And so I had written it down that I wanted to talk to you about it. Yeah, and his parents were there. How about your dream coming true? And then having the best game ever.
But now he has to top it, right? He has to keep that momentum going.
And I didn't want to say it like that. I almost want to say who might not have anything to look forward to is Cole Young. But I didn't want to sound so flippant. No, but it's true.
I didn't mean it in a flippant way. I think, you know what? It shows that he is meant to be where he's at. And what a beautiful opening career for him.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, the Mariners is a Seattle MLB team. So I only know that because my favorite musician is a huge Mariners fan and he's from Seattle. So.
Oh. And don't worry, I wasn't calling you flippant. It was the way that my brain was about to say it, which felt wrong too, because it's not. He does have so much ahead of him. So I guess I should say it in that. Obviously, I hope he doesn't feel oh my gosh, where do I go from here? It's be excited about, holy crap, what else could be to come? Because there's got to be bigger things for this kid. I mean, he's like 21 years old.
Well, I hope he has a really long, successful career. I can't wait to keep hearing more about him in the news cycle.
I bet he does. I bet he does. Nice long career. We shall see. Cole Young.
So there is something that I've been wanting to talk to you about. I saw it pop up on social media a couple of days ago, and I know that the first time it made its appearance online was back in December. So it's not a relatively new conspiracy, I guess is what we'll call it. It's called the HomeGoods conspiracy. And
you know me. I love anything. Give me HomeGoods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross. Like the conspiracies around these places is wild. So I get
probably pretty accurate or pretty true. There's some truth to these stories.
I'm curious if this is one of the ones that I just recently heard about that you're going to talk about. I'm excited. What is it?
Basically, this recent social media buzz surrounding HomeGoods and, like you mentioned, these other places like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, etc., has centered on this theory that suggests there are some items in the store that are being purchased from Goodwill or that people are bringing in from their own homes. And so basically what's happening, people are saying, is that, obviously when you go to the store, it's kind of like thrifting new things, right? You never know what you're going to get. You never know what's going to be there. If you find one thing, you probably won't find it a duplicate. You know what I mean? It's really hit or miss. And, when it hits, you get something really cute and exciting. And when it's missed, you just leave probably with things you didn't need, but nothing really special, right? There has been people that have been noticing that when they go to HomeGoods, they do recognize, okay, this looks brand new. And then it'll be next to something on a shelf that looks worn and torn and basically like it's been used for years, right? And so what people online have been saying is that they believe customers are buying new items from HomeGoods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, etc., going to their house, taking the tag off, and then putting the tag on something from their house that they're over, basically, that they don't want anymore. And they return it, and it gets returned in a very easy way. And they're able to make a couple extra bucks and get rid of something or recycle something that they didn't necessarily want.
Well, you're out enjoying the beach, barbecues, and those lovely summer 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing that you're worried about. And that's why you should consider making the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at just $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network. The coverage and speed that you're used to, but with way less cost. So while your friends are sweating over their data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chillin', literally and financially. So say bye to overpriced wireless plans and jaw-dropping monthly bills and unexpected overages, because Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. Again, delivered on the largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with you too. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Honestly, I'm considering making the switch to Mint Mobile myself after all I have learned recently since we started working with them, and you should consider it too. It's definitely a massive price decrease from my current provider. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/diaries. That's mintmobile.com/diaries. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Anyone can follow. It takes something special to be an original, which is why the 2025 Lincoln Navigator SUV arrives with new ways of surrounding you in luxury, including the ultra-wide 48-inch panoramic display and the multi-sensory Lincoln Rejuvenate experience. A true original never stops evolving. So meet the 2025 Navigator, the original that's all new and better than ever. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Lincoln and Navigator are trademarks of Ford or its affiliates.
This episode is brought to you by Buick. Buick certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Buick, exceptional by design. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit buick.com/service to learn more.
Learning through play starts with Lego Duplo. With Lego Duplo, toddlers can develop real-life skills while having fun with colorful bricks made just for them. Large, easy to grip, and safe to explore. When children express themselves with Lego Duplo, they build patience, problem-solving, and empathy. See your child learn perseverance and self-expression with everything they imagine and create. Visit lego.com/preschool to learn more.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This is the one I've heard of.
Okay.
And I saw a video. Really well-known creator, kind of old school at this point, Shane Dawson. I know he's had some controversies, what YouTube personality hasn't. But I think he's far past it. So I did watch this video. I should see how he's doing with all that. So, okay, yeah, that is a conspiracy theory that I have been hearing about too. It's so wild. I actually saw a whole YouTube video where this creator investigates it kind of, and they take something from their house that's a little bit funky, like a snail candle or something like that. There was some random stuff. They did a couple of different tests at different HomeGoods because there's multiple people. So they were able to make that work. And they were able to place something in HomeGoods, then go ask to buy it, but that it has no sticker. They slapped a sticker on it and sold it, their own item, to them for $5.
Oh my gosh.
Now, they obviously acknowledged it at the front that there's no sticker, but here we can do $5 or whatever. Maybe it was a manager who can figure that out. They didn't film that part of it. They just filmed at the end and they showed the sticker though. They put this reddish sticker on the bottom of the item and sold
Doesn't red
back.
usually mean clearance too? So they're hoping
Probably.
It doesn't come back. They're this snail candle holder, please keep it forever.
And they found the perfect items around their house though. I don't know how this person knew that these will work. I mean, obviously, HomeGoods is kind of weird with some of their items.
But that feels a little bit more like a test, like a gag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This conspiracy theory is more like a scam. You know what I mean? People are trying to make extra money or get rid of their items without actually donating them or throwing them away. It's a little weird.
They're trying to return items and make the money off of it. This creator couldn't do that because they're filming. And so they're we're not going to film ourselves
breaking the law.
But if these couple of things that we're going to do work, then we kind of know there's something to it where people are just trying to return things from home. Oh, I don't have the receipt. And then they're making money off of things that HomeGoods didn't sell them, which is a scam and is obviously illegal.
I did see someone say in the comments, though, which I found pretty funny, not that I'm advocating for any of this activity, but they said, if you can get that sticker off of an item without damaging the item or getting it, excessively sticky and not ripping the tag, maybe you deserve a little bit of that money. I don't know. If you've ever bought anything from HomeGoods, you know what I'm talking about. They'll put them right on the front of a frame you want or, in the most inconvenient place. And you're sitting there hoping you have something to scrape it off with. It never comes off in one piece. It's always a hassle.
It is so annoying at so many places with the stickers and where they put them. And I feel like I'm so used to, unfortunately, buying things online. Maybe that's not unfortunate, right? That's actually literally fortunate that, I forget that right, you go into the store, you're going to get stickers. Or if I do a Target run, whether it's pickup or myself, that's normally where I get it. I'm like, oh yeah, stickers. It's so annoying.
They even put them at the bottom of the soles of shoes. And I just think, are you kidding me? Everywhere I step, it's going to collect dirt. So yeah, that's a little bit of a nuisance.
Definitely a nuisance. Hey, maybe that's another conspiracy with HomeGoods.
The sticker placement. Yeah, they're messing with us.
I got to be honest. We've talked about this probably when I talked about the lady that babysits all the Hello Kitty stuff at a Marshall's. But I'm just not the HomeGoods, Marshalls, Ross kind of person. Even Nordstrom's Rack gives me, or Nordstrom Rack gives me a little anxiety. I feel like it's the way they're set up. The racks, it's smushed. It's really only by size and categories. So it's t-shirts, but it's it's not as organized as what helps my brain shop, at least.
Right.
Here are the basics. Here's graphic tees. It's not like that.
Well, and if you find something you like, you're not guaranteed to find it in your size in the same spot. You have to go on a treasure hunt, basically. So it's really hit or miss. I think you have to be in the right mindset to go to those particular stores. And if you have something specific in mind that you really want, you're better off just searching for it at a particular store, online, narrowing it down. Where can I find this?
It's so much easier. My mom, hello, Mom, she is constantly wanting to make me go to the store. Oh, honey, why don't you run over there? Or let's run over there. I'm like, Mom, especially with Target, there's more stuff online. I'm going to find more options because they don't carry everything in store today. And having online has allowed stores to have more options and more stock, right? So it's why go when they're going to have what's online?
I guess it depends how fast you need it, though.
And I mean, they're not going to possibly have what's online, but correct. How quickly do you need it? You might have to go to the store and beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
So that's true. But if I'm looking at something, I will look online first. And then if I can find it in a store where I need to look at it, if it's a sofa or something and you got to go look at it, or, oh, these pants are cute, but let me see how they fit on me, that kind of thing. Well, then, yeah, go wherever you can see that they're in stock. But I'm not going to start in store. Because I'll also find more things that I didn't need. And that's not just Target. It's pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I found that too with we've been looking for a couch for a while. And I've told you this off air, because it's not that interesting, but you can't really go to that many stores and figure out, in person which couch you like, because most of the options are online. But when they're online, you can't sit on them and test them out. And that's the whole point. You want something comfortable and not flimsy and that's going to last. And most stores don't even give you that option unless you're going to living spaces and where else. Sometimes Pottery Barn will have a couple couches in store, but all the options aren't there.
I think the only store that has the majority of options available, IKEA. And that's because it's set up as a showroom. Right. Every inch of that place is practically a showroom or a bin full of stuff.
And IKEA is great, but it's also, if you have ever tried any of those couches, they're for smaller people. My husband's very tall, and I can't get a couch that fits me and not him. You know what I mean? We're both sitting on it. So we need something to accommodate a tall person and a medium-sized person. So that's what makes it tough.
Yeah. And, IKEA is that Scandinavian style, which is very minimalistic for very smaller spaces because they built more up and don't have as much land sprawl as we do here. So our houses are bigger. Our lots are a little bit bigger than the cities that a lot of people are in Europe. I mean, if you go out to the country in Europe, they probably have bigger stuff, but it's also just older there. So they just don't have as much room because things, all of those reasons. So it makes sense why IKEA, wouldn't be the best fit always.
Well, and like I'm saying that as I'm sitting at my IKEA desk. Like obviously it works for certain things, but we haven't had any success with a couch there at least. So maybe if anyone has any suggestions on where to get a couch, I've even checked Costco and Sam's Club, and we haven't found too many options because you can't really get a pick like the color or whatever. So I guess I'm being a little picky.
I struggled with that with IKEA as well in terms of the colors. They might have some variations, but like the futon that I want for the office, it's like it pulls out to like a queen size bed, but like the mattress color, which would be your couch color. I love the look of it. I love the scale. I love it's going to work, but like it's gray. The cushion part, the couch part is gray. It's nice and thick, which is what you want with the futon. Otherwise, they suck. But I don't want gray. And
what color are you going for?
You know me. I'm trying to do it moody. So maybe something all black. I mean, the gray could potentially work, but
the gray would hide fur better. So if Posey's in there, she's going to be on top of that thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, so maybe it would be a blessing in disguise to get gray. Not telling you what to get, but
I could figure out how to get like a grayish swatch that's like a similar color and kind of see how it does in the room, because I'm trying to like brighten the moodiness because the walls are so dark, right? They're like that dark green. I'm trying to lighten that up with like the more natural woods. I love it. It's more of like a natural wood thing. I wanted to do fluting on the walls, but that's not going to work. We already talked about that because of what the previous owners did to the ceiling, and I'm not taking it down to find out what's underneath. I'm not doing it. So I chose to put the wood with the desks. So the desks are IKEA. They're black and then like a natural wood. And I love that. So I'm kind of like, if I've got the green, this natural wood and black.
Yeah, you need
I don't know how the gray fits, but my mom always says gray's a neutral. Is it?
I think we need to trust your mom on this. Maybe make a mood board or something. I'm always making
it's a good idea.
On a Canva, and there's like this other pick stitch one. I'm always cutting things out, putting them together. It's fun.
It could work. Potentially. It's hard to envision that in my mind, but you're right. I mean, my mom is a pretty talented designer of sorts. She's helped many people, and her homes are she always does it so cool. Their house, I like to call it, you've seen it. I like to call it
beautiful.
Mermaid industrial. Their fireplace is my favorite piece. I might have to take a picture of it, because it's so cool. I love their fireplace. I don't know how she does it. I wish I could do that in my mind. Like, I'm not that bad at it when I have the physical pieces, and I can definitely get some good colors going on. But my mom can actually be like, no, honey, this is going to work. This is going to work. And she could tap into all of us kids' design, like aesthetics.
You know what I find, at least for me, when I'm like doing, like I'll make those like mood boards or like inspiration boards for like baby showers or birthday parties or something, to help out like my sister or anyone in the family. It's so much easier to put them together when it's not for me, because I kind of get a sense of what they're wanting to do. And it just feels a little bit easier to not put those like restrictions on myself. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll put restrictions on myself thinking like, oh, well, that's too expensive. I don't even want to think about that. It would look great, but it would be expensive to do versus I just put them together and then we can go, based off of what's the budget, then we figure out how to make it work for someone else. I don't know. I can understand it being difficult for you to do for yourself.
Yeah. And it can be hard to commit. And so I was really happy to commit to like the paint color. That was helpful. And my mom really liked the paint color, but she was like, oh, you're really going dark. And I was like, yep.
You're committing.
Yes, I am. Because we love you boomers, but you guys are all afraid of painting a room dark. You're all afraid of it. And you made us afraid for like the first half of our lives having our own homes of sorts.
Am I a boomer?
Purchase.
I might be a little boomer though, because my whole house is painted white.
It's ingrained in us. Now, listen, I think your main wall colors shouldn't be dark, but like an moody office.
Wall. Yeah.
A moody office or an accent wall is fine. But I remember I wanted to paint my room black and do like blow up furniture.
Mm-hmm.
This is like in like 2000, 2001. Okay. But my mom wouldn't let me paint it black.
I mean, in her defense, black
That would have been tough.
would have been really tough. That's like one of the hardest paints to cover up.
Yeah. I think I just saw like black with neon or silver blow up furniture or like clear blow up furniture. I don't know what silver blow up furniture. Most of the time, blow up furniture was
Like
transparent or translucent. So, anyways, yeah, they don't love a dark wall, but she did like the color and gave me some good advice on like where to start painting. It's still not done, by the way, if you wanted to know.
I figured because you hadn't brought it up or shown me pictures. So
We're just lagging. We got some of it done and we literally have been at a standstill the last like 2 or 3 weekends because we have been doing other things and just then been tired or whatever and wanting to relax. And
I mean, what's the rush? I mean, other than wanting to use it, but you can use it. Your desk is in there.
Oh yeah, guess whose gamer setup is up there? Yeah, but guess whose podcast stuff isn't set up there?
That's okay though, because now it's not on your kitchen table. His computer and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The kitchen. Well, it was last couple days while he was building it, but I told him, I said, before you go back to work and the weekend's over, it needs to be put back together. Please, let's just get everything away. Like my OCD really like started to click in, right? Because it was already triggered by going to this like nerdy gamer place, which is so cool though. It was so fascinating and cool to see like all of these parts and all these smart people that know what they're doing working there. So I mean that in a very endearing way. I also play games, but that was already a bit triggering for me. You know how I am at new places and germs, all of that. So that was already kind of like hard. And then like, yeah, the computer just exploded everywhere. The new parts exploded
and then the
everywhere.
Picture thing. So yeah, I could see how it would be a lot.
Absolutely. And thank you for understanding. But you want to know what else was kind of weird? Because I know a while back we were talking about the HomeGoods conspiracy that I wanted us to have a convo about. Now, you know, I already did a video on it because I had to. The Sydney Sweeney bath soap. What is going on with that?
Well,
this episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit temptationstreats.com to learn more.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
My day kicks off with a refreshing Celsius energy drink, then straight to the gym. Pre-K pickup, back home to meal prep. Time for my fire station shift. One more Celsius, gotta keep the lights on. When the 3-alarm hits, I'm ready. Celsius. Live, fit, go. Grab a cold, refreshing Celsius at your local retailer or locate now at Celsius.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Well, you know, we both have opinions on that. So for anyone that is unfamiliar or didn't see Paige's video about it, basically she partnered with a soap making company to make soap, a limited supply of soap, special edition, made with her bath water. So, and it has a hole in the middle of the soap. It's marketed towards men. So do with that info what you will.
Oh, gosh. It's interesting to me. Now, listen, if my bathwater sold, I mean, fantastic.
What is she going to sell socks next, though? Like, people sell socks, like, or other things. It's just, was it really her bathwater? Probably not.
That's what one of the comments said. Like, how do we know it was really her bathwater? I mean, exactly. It could be a gimmick. It is a novelty item. It is not one that hopefully guys will actually be using. It sold out in minutes. Like, this is like a 2016 Kylie lip kit drop, a Rhode Beauty lip peptide drop. Wild. It sold out so fast, and it's already selling for like well over $200, almost $300 on eBay. I talk about that in the video too, but like, wow. I mean, go off, Sydney.
Yeah, I mean, good for her. But one thing I did text you about when we were talking about it previously is I want to know how many of these soaps were made. What percentage of bath water was actually used? Was it actually her bath water? Will they have a second release because it was so successful? I just want to know all the details, all the business specs on that.
I want to know if there's going to be another release as well, because it would be interesting to see what happened with that release. I also want to know how much bathwater was used. They put and just a bit or just a drop or something like that of Sydney's bathwater. But what I really want to know about that drop, legality wise, it had to have been sterilized somehow, right? If it really was her bathwater.
Maybe she washed her hands in it. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, maybe she didn't actually go for a bath.
But even just washing your hands, I mean, you've got dead bacteria in there. There's no way they could actually sell that, but maybe you can, as long as you're expressing, this is
maybe that's why they could only use a drop. I don't know, but it does.
It's not wild.
It makes me curious, and I'm curious what other people think about this. Is I feel like she's the last few years has been really trying to escape the whole sexualized image that she has gotten, from being in Euphoria and other different projects that she's done. She's really trying to be taken seriously. So it was a little bit of an odd step for her, or choice for her, to choose to sell her bathwater soap. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like she doesn't have to choose. She can do what she wants, obviously. But if she's trying to go in a certain direction, it's weird. It almost feels like she's backtracking.
And she is talented. So it isn't
absolutely.
But I think after Euphoria, because, you had Handmaid's Tale, okay, around the same time as at least season 1 Euphoria, within that same couple of years, they're totally different, right? But then you see, she has had many roles that were not as sexualized as Euphoria and Anyone But You. So yeah, why this, it's almost like leaning back into it since Anyone But You. She's, tantalizing people to watch this movie by being really kind of heavily flirty with the main guy there,
That's
Glenn
something
Powell.
I want to bring up too, is she's not just an actress or actor in that movie. Her production company is the company that produced it. So she owns the rights to that movie to distribute it, blah, blah, blah. And she is actively making rom-coms. I believe I read an article where she was saying that that's her goal. She wants to bring back the early 2000s rom-coms, kind that were of that era. And so she really is a very talented actress, but not only an actress, but a talented businesswoman. As a producer, she's getting these films made. She's getting eyes on them. So it just felt a little off, but maybe she wanted to remind everyone, hey, I still got it. I don't know. I mean, she's still very young. I don't even think she's 30 yet.
No, she is not 30 yet. She is going to be 28 in September. Why do I know everyone's birthday? This is such a problem. I mean, I guess not problem to know people's birthday, but it's really Sydney Sweeney. Why do I know her birthday? Because I saw it once, September 12th, 1997. I saw it once. That's it. One time.
Well,
there it is. Bzz, burned in the brain.
I wish I had that. I wish.
It's a little bit of a superpower, isn't it? We talk about it like all the time too, because it comes up like this because I get so embarrassed because it seems like I just like research these people like crazy.
No, you're like my own little Wikipedia. I love it.
People will call me. Hey, do you remember that one time, like back in like, 5th grade when we did that? Was it da-da-da? And I'm like, no, it was da-da-da. And they're like, see, I told you, like, I will like be like the argument solver for people, especially my sister and her best friend. If they're together, they're calling me or they're asking me. And they're like, we knew we had to ask you.
When you remember these things, you've only seen it once. Do you think about it a lot after you've read it? Or is it like you see it, you read it, forget it? Or not forget it, but you just let it go. Do you know what I mean? Are you ruminating on these things? Is that what helps?
I let it go. I mean, normally if I'm looking up them like on IMDb, of course, I'm going to see it, or Wikipedia to look up something. I'm going to see it. And it is of interest to me. Like, oh, how old are they? So I do look. It's not like I accidentally saw. No, I don't ruminate. There might like for example, I probably looked up how old is Sydney Sweeney versus Glenn Powell.
How old is he? He was born in the 80s, right?
I think he's 87. Yeah, I think he's 87. But you could see where I'm far more interested in Sydney Sweeney than Glenn Powell. No issue with Glenn, but just like I was more interested in that situation going, why are they even pretending to date? He's quite a bit older than her.
Okay.
And he's like 10 years older.
There was a whole interview and a social media blow up about this relationship, actually.
Right.
Or isn't their relationship in the last couple of weeks, actually. So that's interesting. So
yeah,
for those who are maybe unfamiliar, this isn't something we planned on discussing, but we kind of fell into it. So we can touch on it for a second. But during the press tour for the movie that Sydney Sweeney's company just produced, that her and Glenn Powell star in, what did you call it? Anyone But You?
Anyone But You. Mm-hmm.
Sydney was engaged to a much older man, and Glenn was dating a woman for the past 3 years. And they had talked about their future and how it was looking very sturdy and possibly involving marriage and children together. And during the press tour, he basically pretended that she didn't exist. And they really played up Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney really played up this fabricated relationship. Well, now both are single. Sydney has left her older fiance, which everyone was kind of like, what do they have in common? I don't know. He's been dating her for a while. And then Glenn is also single. And they were spotted together at Glenn Powell's sister's wedding not too long ago, maybe like a month ago.
That's some tea.
Yeah. Had you seen that? So that happened. And then I would say this month in June, his ex-girlfriend of 3 years came out and said, started speaking about it because she has been silent since everything happened. And she was just saying like he didn't respect the relationship, obviously, because he pretended it wasn't a real thing while he was doing all of this just to promote a movie. I don't want to quote her because obviously that's her lived experience. I'm just kind of relaying a couple of the facts, but
yeah,
very interesting.
Very interesting. It's so funny how we ended up talking about this again. It was that fascinating when it was happening too. I probably looked up her birthday, or at least on IMDb for funsies as well, because Euphoria, their 3rd season, got like pushed back with the writer's strike. And like, when was that? 24, 23? And so it's probably like, how old is she going to be for this season and or the Glenn Powell thing? It was probably one of those. Going back to that, I know that we had moved past that, but I was like, I need to specify why I was seeing birthdays, but it's just what happens if you're me.
There was one other story that I wanted to get your thoughts on. So recently we just had Father's Day, obviously. So this story feels very timely, and I'm curious what people think about it. So Arnold Schwarzenegger has a new, season 2 of the show that he's on coming out. And recently, I think it was this weekend, he had basically the premiere for season 2. And as we know, he was once married to Maria Shriver. So he has 4 children with her. And among them is Katherine Schwarzenegger, who's famously married to Chris Pratt. We have Patrick Schwarzenegger, who was just in White Lotus. So his children are starting to make names for themselves, and they are supporting their father. But it's also important for us to remember that not so long ago, maybe back in the early 2020s, maybe 2020, 2021, there was a scandal that came out between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver. This long Hollywood married couple were getting a divorce because it turns out that Arnold fathered a child, a son, with their maid that they had for years. And it turns out that the son, Joseph Baena, actually grew up alongside Arnold's 4 other children because he would go along with his other sibling from his mom to the Schwarzenegger house while she would clean or, do her duties. And so they really knew him growing up. They were familiar and maybe even friendly. And he's as old as Maria Shriver's and Arnold's youngest son.
Yeah, they're like
a couple months apart. Right.
Was that only 2020?
I'm going based off of when Arnold and Maria were divorced, and that was in 2021. So,
okay, so
you can fact check me.
Late 2010s, early 2020, that's when it all came out. That feels like a lifetime ago.
It kind of was. So much has happened. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because, like I said, all 4 Maria Shriver and Arnold children were at the premiere, and Joseph Baena, his illegitimate, I guess is what some people would call him, also was there. But it turns out, and this has been gossiped about on news sites for a while now, for the past few years, is that the 4 children from his marriage to Maria will not acknowledge Joseph Baena. However, they will and have forgiven their father. So they were there to support the father, who is the one that stepped out of his marriage with their mother and basically blew up their lives, I guess. And they will not even acknowledge their half sibling, their half brother, who had to pose with Arnold separately. And then I was reading comments about it, and it turns out that none of his 4 Schwarzenegger siblings follow him on social media, but Arnold follows all the children. And it's just so interesting to me that they're willing to forgive the person who did the hurting versus the innocent child that's involved. And I don't know, maybe it's different because they're adults and they grew up thinking this is their family unit, but why can't they embrace another sibling? It's not like he's a stranger. They've known him all their lives. Anyway, it's like something I've been thinking about.
Yeah, it's sort of, to me, also playing on the politics of fame. And even if they do acknowledge him in private, not doing it publicly still speaks volumes, because that's what you want the world to know. So if you want the world to know, hey, we embrace our half sibling, like, sorry, you'll never change his blood. You'll never change your father. That's your father.
You'll never change his face either, because ironically, he is the one that looks most like Arnold out of all of the children. So I don't know how they could even deny it growing up. I'm sure they had some inkling that this kid might be related to us.
It's pretty uncanny. Really, besides his nose, he looks like Arnold. The eyes, especially. I was just looking up things while listening to you, just to pull up, pictures and get into this story again, because it has been a while, and I noticed that right away, and I was going to say it. Plus, I did see a graduation photo with Arnold and Joseph, so that's really nice, and it does seem like he is supporting him that way, and has been to graduation or graduation.
As he should. It's his father, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't get to parent him the way he should have, the way that Joseph Baena deserved growing up, because he was hiding his secret. So I'm glad that he's at least attempting to be involved now. But it is such maybe it isn't a loss for Joseph, because why would he want to be acknowledged by siblings that don't give a crap about him? right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I wouldn't. And maybe they're like, look, this is how we grew up. Why are we changing anything? But it's like, because you're siblings. Like, would you like to build rapport and build a relationship a little bit more?
Well,
like, what the heck?
And weren't you friends growing up anyway? Or at least like you grew up with him. He grew up around your house. You knew him. It's not like this complete stranger. And it's not like Joseph Baena knew of his parentage and he was hiding the secret. Their father was.
Yeah. You know what? Catherine being married to Chris Pratt is about all I need to know. So this kind of checks that box to me.
What is wrong with Chris Pratt, though? Because everyone's always like, oh, he's so gross or whatever. But like, what has he actually done? Because I see that discourse a lot and I never like fully go into it because I don't watch any of his movies, and not because I don't like him. It's just like, I'm not into Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I mean? Or whatever else he's in.
You know, the lore is that like, yeah, like he actually is a great comedic actor. Like you kind of forget that like this other side of him that's come out that's just a bit more traditional and maybe misogynistic, even though maybe not in outwardly rude ways. He's just said some more like old school things that might like set women back a bit more. And like, I personally don't like that. And I know like a lot of the public doesn't like that. The rest of the lore, I really don't know. I don't think he's done anything outwardly like, oh my gosh, like completely illegal.
I was going to say, like, I'm surprised he hasn't been canceled.
Oh, I know, right? Give me 1 sec. Let me pause this. Sorry about that, everybody. We had to pause for what I thought might be an important phone call that actually wasn't. I hate when that happens, but we're pretty much wrapping up anyways. So this is a good point to stop.
And be sure to tune in on Thursday for our most recent true crime coverage. And then next Monday for another episode of Unscripted. We're so glad that you were here. And we love you guys.
Thanks for being here. Until then. Bye. While you're out enjoying the beach, barbecues, and those lovely summer 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing that you're worried about. And that's why you should consider making the switch to Mint Mobile. With plans starting at just $15 a month, Mint Mobile gives you premium wireless service on the nation's largest 5G network. The coverage and speed that you're used to, but with way less cost. So while your friends are sweating over their data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chillin', literally and financially. So say bye to overpriced wireless plans and jaw-dropping monthly bills and unexpected overages, because Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. Again, delivered on the largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with you too. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Honestly, I'm considering making the switch to Mint Mobile myself after all I have learned recently since we started working with them, and you should consider it too. It's definitely a massive price decrease from my current provider. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/diaries. That's mintmobile.com/diaries. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.